So, okay, folks, we're on the precipice of the Fed making their announcement tomorrow. Sometime I think it's like 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most of you on the West Coast will probably be asleep. I know I will, so I'll wake up to the news. Anyway, the CPI numbers came out today. It looks like inflation rose 0.1% to 7.1%. Now, that's below what was projected for 7.3. So we're 0.2% under the projection. And last month it was 7.7%. So we can see inflation is starting to kind of taper down. Now, the biggest contributor with this increase was shelter. Now, when we look at shelter, it doesn't necessarily mean housing prices or values. It's really just looking at rent. And for somebody that owns a home, the CPI considers what they would pay in rent for that same property. So that was up 0.5%. And shelter comprises about 1/3 of the overall CPI. So that increase kind of put us in a bad light. I would say we could have done better if housing was under control. But that that data for shelter is a 6-month lagging indicator, meaning that they're looking at data that happened 6 months ago to come up with this information. So that was like April, May earlier this year, and it was expected because of what was happening with rental prices and home prices being kind of on an increase. Now we'll see what happens as we go into the end of this year, the start of Q1, maybe sometime into Q2. I expect those numbers to cool off. If the trend in housing continues to go downward, we'll see those numbers cool off. So that should help the CPI and help us curb inflation a little bit faster. But for now, tomorrow, we're expecting the Fed to raise the Fed funds rate by another 0.5% or 50 basis points. We'll see how that cuts into what mortgages are going to do. I expect today we're going to see some very good information come in terms of easing mortgage rates. The stock market has already kind of breathed their sigh of relief and is rallying right now based on this information that inflation is kind of getting under control and the Fed's course is kind of steering us in the right direction. So again, we'll see what happens. If you need help with any real estate goals, please feel free to reach out for me. If you need additional information about what all of this means to you as a home buyer or home seller, or even as an investor, feel free to give me a call. I'll be more than happy enough to walk you through all of this information. Until then, folks, have a great one, and I'll see you next time.